Rodgers again is restructuring his deal with Green Bay, according to our Jason La Canfora. It will void the 23 season, and it would mean Aaron Rodgers is only under contract for this upcoming season and the following season, with the caveat that if Rodgers still doesn't like the way things are going after this season, the Packers would make him happy and trade him away. Davante Adams is also reportedly open to contract extension talks. All right, let's bring in Jonathan Jones, our NFL insider, who joined us, it was around noon Eastern time, JJ, and you kind of surprised me by saying that you're hearing things are moving in the right direction for Rodgers and the Packers, not just for a return this season, but for Rodgers to show up at training camp, which begins tomorrow. How did the Packers pull this off?
Yeah, is it done? Is it the last few months, or is it all over? Is the Aaron Rodgers saga complete? No, not yet. There's still some ironing out, but the deal's close, is what I am told. And how it happened, listen, we heard from Brian Gutekunst and Mark Murphy, the team's general manager and president, respectively, who said, we've been working tirelessly as they spoke with a number of shareholders today. We've been working tirelessly, they said, on making sure that Aaron is a Green Bay Packer for 2021 and beyond. Well, we'll see about beyond. And as I understand it, really short of making it to the Super Bowl and obviously winning the Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers is not going to be a Green Bay Packer in 2022 and beyond. He's going to be playing for another team. But there are enough concessions that the Green Bay Packers have been willing to make. And one of those, I just tweeted this out, is Randall Cobb potentially coming back to Green Bay. There seems to be some structure in place to bring in the Texans wide receiver via a trade, and that really explains why over the weekend the Texans made the trade for former Bears second-round wide receiver Anthony Miller. So, hey, we're going to lose Randall Cobb eventually. Since these wheels have been in motion, let's go ahead and make a trade for Anthony Miller, understanding that we're going to get that trade compensation back once we deal Randall Cobb. So who else is Aaron Rodgers wanting to come back to Green Bay or bring into Green Bay? That is to be determined. But I think a lot of people have talked about this. This is not a novel idea about how, hey, he saw Tom Brady and what the Tampa Bay Bucks did and how they engineered a team around him and what his wishes were, and Aaron Rodgers coveted that. And so now, whatever these concessions are going to be and written into his contract in some sort of amendment, obviously he wants to get free up some cap space to bring in these high caliber players so that the team can actually fit them under the salary cap. All of these things are going to happen, and truthfully, this was the team that he had really the best opportunity to win a championship with, the Green Bay Packers right now. Could he have gone perhaps to the Denver Broncos? That's a team that wanted to have him. Just ultimately, the Green Bay Packers were not interested in dealing Aaron Rodgers right now. They are going to face that reality in 2022, and they will deal him for a haul of draft picks and move forward with Jordan Love or someone else if they don't see enough out of Jordan Love in his second year, be it on the practice field or in the game, if he ever gets into a game. But Aaron Rodgers is very, very close to nearing some sort of contractual amendment that will keep him in Green Bay for 2021.
All right, Jonathan Jones and our Jason La Canfora reporting that 2023 year would be voided once they finalize this deal that they're nearing an agreement on. How would that work, though? I mean, can the Packers put in writing right now, hey, we guarantee we're going to trade you if you don't like the way things are going after this season?
Yeah, the wording is going to be very interesting, and I'm very much, Chris, looking forward to getting my hands on the actual contract whenever that is executed and figuring out what that wording and phrasing would actually be. I was speaking with a source just before I came on with you who said, oh, no, they would absolutely get some language in the contract that guaranteed it. I tweeted that it would be a gentleman's handshake of sorts, and I spoke with a source who said, oh, no, they'll have something in there. And so I don't know what that language exactly would be, but listen, I don't think that this would be something that the NFL would even allow, right, for, hey, we're just going to keep you, you're under contract, or, you know, if you're the Green Bay Packers, hey, we're going to cut you and let you sign with someone else because we've all worked this out in the back room. No, What's ultimately going to happen, Chris, is if they don't make it to the Super Bowl, and I keep saying the Super Bowl because of how unfortunate their luck has been in the NFC Conference title game. If they don't make it to the Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl, I would expect Aaron Rodgers to find greener pastures elsewhere. And when that happens, he would then have to be traded for what? 2 first-round picks and a player that's first-round caliber, 3 first-round picks. He would then get a contract renegotiation and extension, one that would pay him on average around $45 million per year, making him one of the highest-paid quarterbacks in the NFL, if not the highest-paid quarterback in the NFL over 1 or 2, maybe even 3 years. That's what we're going to see happen before the NFL draft in 2022. That is ultimately going to happen unless Aaron Rodgers says, you know what, really like it here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And it's okay that we didn't make it to the Super Bowl. It's okay we didn't win the Super Bowl. Maybe we lost to Tom Brady again, and we decided to give up a deep touchdown pass at the end of the first half like last time. Maybe those things will happen. But short of that, and in reality, what is ultimately going to happen is Aaron Rodgers will be out of Green Bay in 2022, and that's going to be how.
If they do not win a Super Bowl. If they do, then maybe he comes back and tries to run it back and do it again like Jordan and Pippen, right? Davante Adams, on the other hand, a guy who kind of shut down contract extension talks over the last several weeks, but reportedly might be willing to listen and come back to the table now that news has turned around on Aaron Rodgers. But how would his long-term deal kind of piggyback off what Aaron Rodgers decides to do after this season? Are those two kind of a package deal in your mind, or do you think they could get Adams to sign a long-term deal even before Rodgers decides on the future?
Maybe, but Chris, follow me here on this logic, and that is that Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers posted the photo of Jordan and Pippen and talked about, and obviously brought up, the nostalgia of Last Dance, right? That was a very clear indication, and they worked together on that. And so on Friday, I got word that, hey, something's happening with Rodgers. And of course, you could always say that every single week, something's happening with Aaron Rodgers, but something was brewing. And over the weekend, and what we have now come to understand through my reporting, through Jason La Canfora's reporting and others, is that they were working on those concessions. It is not a coincidence to me, Chris, that contract negotiation talks were broken off by Davante Adams. Then later that night, he and Aaron Rodgers collaborated, as we well know, on Instagram to post the photo that we all knew what it would bring to mind for everyone. And then, as soon as the word comes out that a concession deal was near, it's Davante Adams saying, well, you know what, hold on now. I'm willing to talk again. Things didn't get that bad over the last 48 or 72 hours. It does seem like a bit of a collaboration that Aaron Rodgers, as we know, he and his team are working behind the scenes to make whatever possible for Aaron Rodgers to get himself out of Green Bay upon understanding that it wasn't possible. Now we see that he is coming back to Green Bay, and he will have Davante Adams. As I reported, a trade for Randall Cobb should be happening at some point here this week, or at some point soon in this preseason. And so what ultimately becomes of Davante Adams? Will they be a package deal? The question that you asked. If you're Davante, you certainly want to be paid more money on average annual salary than Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods is making this year. Adam Thielen, you're a better wide receiver than the 3 of those guys. You're one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Do you want a long-term deal with Green Bay? Well, you do if they make you the highest paid wide receiver in terms of average annual salary, and that would put you above DeAndre Hopkins, for example. But if they're not going to come to the table and come correct with at least $20 million plus per year, and that's where they're going to have to really start, and really they'd have to start around $22 million per year, then you try to get whatever money you can. Maybe you get a shorter term deal and then find yourself in free agency soon enough. We're going to see. I'm not willing to say that Davante Adams is going to reach some 5-year agreement with the Green Bay Packers just because Aaron Rodgers has agreed to come back for 1 year. But I do know that Davante Adams does want to be paid more. And I think connecting the dots as reasonable people, we can kind of see what happened on Friday from the, hey, we've broken off talks and it's in a bad place, to, well, now we're going to post on Instagram together and simultaneously, to now everything's okay. Let's get back to talking.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about, obviously, Aaron Rodgers because he's the story. Davante Adams, he's the story. But another wide receiver that you brought up a couple of times, Randall Cobb. Why is he so important to Aaron Rodgers to have back there in Green Bay?
Rodgers loves him, and they had such a fantastic connection for those years there in Green Bay. And, of course, the Houston Texans brought on Randall Cobb after trading DeAndre Hopkins and signing him to that 3-year deal. I think it was $27 million per year. But, again, as one source pointed out to me, and really started to connect the dots. Hey, that Anthony Miller trade, it wasn't just because, hey, the Texans are having competition all over the place. They absolutely love Anthony Miller and want to see him paired with Randall Cobb. These wheels were in motion. This is not, Brian Gutekunst and Mark Murphy didn't go talk to shareholders today, and then Aaron Rodgers called them, and they started getting all this stuff together in the last couple of hours. This has been ongoing over the weekend, over the last couple of weeks. And, Aaron Rodgers had a lot of stuff out there on the table. He had the COVID opt-out possibility, and it became not a possibility, and it was a strong consideration. I want to be clear about that. Back in June, it was a consideration for Aaron Rodgers. Then the news came out that, hey, if you were going to opt out, the deadline for that is July 2nd, and that would have just kicked the can and pushed this for a year. Well, it was too early. July the 2nd was for anything to happen, so that option went off the table. Retirement, he was threatening it. I don't know if it was ever real, but he really threatened it. And so that was the case. And then there were discussions about trade possibilities as well, though no teams, of course, could have engaged in that above board. All of those things were ongoing and happening where ultimately, hey, I'm going to come back. If I have to come back, take care of my guys. That's so important to Aaron Rodgers. Again, I saw what Tom Brady just did this past season with some of his guys. Who he wanted, he brought in. Gronk, Antonio Brown, you name it, they brought him in for Tom Brady. Alex Guerrero, my personal trainer and guru, give him everything he wants. Now Aaron Rodgers is saying, let's make some cap space. Let's get Randall Cobb. Oh, it's going to cost you a draft pick? Too bad. Bring him in. And we're going to see who else Aaron Rodgers may want. I'm not saying that every free agent that they bring in over the next 6 weeks is going to be signed off on by Aaron Rodgers, vetted by Aaron Rodgers, asked for by Aaron Rodgers. But some of these guys, he's going to have a say in, and the reason they're in Green Bay is because 12 wants them there.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.